Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this Wednesday morning. I'm Channing Curtis.
And I'm Tim Pham. Well, hey, let's get to the weather forecast, because if you look outside your window this morning, you might notice the sidewalks are a little wet or a sprinkle on your vehicle. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick tracking that rain that's moving through our region right now. Thomas, just how much rain did we get?
Yeah, well, it kind of depends on where you were at, because obviously it wasn't everywhere, and I honestly did not even look at it. I just noticed that it was heavy at my apartment, and it was much lighter in some areas. So very much just a few streaks of some heavier-ish rain moving through portions of mainly North Idaho, and most of this is kind of moving from south to north in this region. Just a little disturbance in the atmosphere, found a little bit of rain to play with. Not noticing anything too damp out in Coeur d'Alene by comparison, but yes, still mostly cloudy skies at the moment, with our temperatures largely in the 50s today as opposed to the 40s or 30s like yesterday. That blanket of cloud cover keeping us just a pinch more mild today, and still just a few leftover showers in North Idaho this morning.
Now to a developing story we've been tracking overnight. This morning, 2 young children are in a hospital with serious injuries after they were hit by someone driving a car on Highway 27 late last night.
Another child and an adult woman were also hit by the driver of that car as they were crossing the road. So this all happened at the intersection of 24th Avenue and Highway 27, which isn't far from University High School in Spokane Valley. A portion of the road was closed for several hours after the crash, but it has now reopened. WSP says that one of the children seriously injured is just 2 years old.
There are serious injuries to the 2 of the children. They're being treated at local hospital.
The driver of the car that hit the children is a 16-year-old girl. WSP says it doesn't appear that the teen was impaired in any way. The crash is under investigation.
Well, happening today, board members with Spokane Public Schools are expected to solidify plans for honoring Joe Albee.
The Spokane figure played a major role in the city with his contributions to sports. So this morning, KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones actually went through the SPS plans for the stadium, and he's joining us live now to explain the details. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Tim Channing. So right now I'm standing on West Dean Avenue, but tonight's meeting can ultimately change that and change the name to Joe Albee Way. The SPS board have already submitted a street name change application to the city of Spokane. So in tonight's agenda, tonight's meeting, it also states the possibility of a plaque and a statue of Joe Albee that fans can find right at the entrance of the new stadium. While SPS and the Public Facilities District are still working on an official name for the stadium, school officials say this is a way to honor the history and stadium that stood for so long in Spokane. I got a chance to speak with Superintendent Adam Swinyard about the significance of this decision and why the district believes it's one that pays its respect to the history and the figures here in Spokane.
And that's one of the things that we know that's really important as a community, that we're aware of our past and we look to honor that and to understand it as we look ahead to build a brighter future.
So construction on the new stadium remains on track and is scheduled to open later this year in the fall of late September. Tonight's meeting begins at 7 p.m. where all of these changes are expected to be finalized. Reporting live in Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Well, now to a surprising string of car prowls. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says there might actually be more than 200 victims.
Wow. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy looked through the case against one suspect and breaks down what we know so far and why there could be more suspects involved.
The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says this is just a fraction of some of the stolen property recovered from those car prowls. One suspect, Ty Holland, now faces multiple charges, but other suspects may be arrested and charged. Court records show Holland was already a suspect in a number of car prowling incidents when he was caught in the act of stealing from a car parked at the Hangman Creek trailhead. On May 4th, investigators identified Holland as a suspect in several car prowls at Move Fitness on Regal. On May 17th, electronic monitoring on Holland's car showed it traveling to Hangman Creek. A detective watched a man, later identified as Holland, looking through a car. The back window was broken out. The victim later said his laptop, credit cards, and ID were missing. The detective followed the suspect to the nearby Safeway, where he saw Holland buy laundry detergent and a $500 gift card. Receipts later show Holland used the victim's stolen credit card. Holland was eventually arrested in Airway Heights, where the victim's ID, laptop, and other stolen items were recovered. The sheriff's office says Holland may not be the only suspect in these thefts, and investigators are still actively looking into the case that may have more than 200 victims.
It is 6:06 now. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. An urgent search is underway this morning to find a missing 11-year-old girl. Take a look. Dior was last seen leaving Pride Prep on Sprague Avenue yesterday afternoon. Spokane police say she is 5'5" with long brown hair. She was last seen wearing a gray sweatshirt, jeans, and carrying a backpack. If you've seen Dior, you are asked to call Crime Check. That number is there on your screen. New details this morning in a suspected home invasion that ended with 2 people shot. Police believe the owner of the home shot a 49-year-old man after a fight broke out. The homeowner's 15-year-old son accidentally got shot in the process. The teen is expected to be okay and has already been discharged from the hospital. However, the older man remains hospitalized this morning with serious injuries. Well, this morning, the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office is asking people to be more aware of smartphone and smartwatch settings that automatically call 911 if a fall is detected. So the Sheriff's Office says they've seen a significant increase in false calls where someone accidentally calls 911. So if this happens to you and you accidentally call 911, officials are asking you to stay on the line and let the dispatcher know that the call was an accident. A health alert for all cookie dough lovers this morning. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention issuing a food safety alert for a salmonella outbreak. This is infections from a raw cookie dough sold at Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza stores. The chocolate chip and s'mores bar dough has been connected to at least 18 illnesses, including several in Washington and North Idaho. The CDC says throw away any dough and wash surfaces it may have come in contact with. That is a look at your morning rush.
And weather-wise on this Wednesday morning, a bit more mild today because we have the cloud cover overhead, which keeps our temperatures a bit more mild during the overnight hours. So we'll wait for that sunshine to find a few windows to peek through this morning to warm us up. But in Spokane at 54, that's definitely our warmest day or warmest morning we've had so far this week. And we'll get up to around 70 or probably low 70s this afternoon. Now, our rain chances in Spokane are extremely low for the rest of the day today. A few leftover showers still present in some areas near Newport, to the east of Coeur d'Alene, up towards Sandpoint, but I think northeastern Washington will be the main area of concern for any more pop-up showers by this afternoon.